Yeah, I don't. I do not want to interrupt Casa any way I can. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, we want to continue to update you on this tornado warning that we've got in place. Again, it's sitting right on the county line, but we're getting some tightening of the rotation that has shown up there. Again, the bulk of this storm is sitting right on the county line and stretching down into the Burnett County area, but the intensity of this rotation is really increasing. And again, it's right there on the county line. So this is Burnett County, this is Lampasas County, the most intense rotation that we've got. We've got our first alert chase team down there. We don't have their signal right now. They've lost signal. It's rural area there. So this is due south of the Kempner area. Now I'm going to kind of go back and forth, but you'll see this thing is nearly sitting stationary. So if it's moving anywhere, it's gradually drifting south. So if you live in the Kempner area, you're officially under this tornado warning right now, but the tornadic activity is sitting down to your south. I would say if you live near and south of Highway 190, you definitely need to be in your safe place, being prepared for a storm that has had erratic motion. It is, as of last report and last kind of what we've seen, is moving gradually down to the southeast. But that couplet that I showed you is very strong right on the county line, and that's where we get worried about that potential tornado to spin up with this activity. Again, kind of zoom out. This has been that same storm that has had a history of producing upwards of near baseball-sized hail in Coppers Cove. The hail is now shifting more south of Highway 190, south of the Coppers Cove area. And again, we're really going to start watching more in the Burnett County area where this rotation is shifting down to the south. Now, we've got a couple other warnings that we're watching. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning there on the northwestern side of Gatesville, so northern Coryell County up from Jonesboro area to over around Turnersville. Again, a quarter to maybe $half size hail with that storm there. Nothing in the Waco area, nothing in the Temple area. We've got another strong storm that's showing increasing hail concerns kind of over rural areas there in west and northwest of the Hearn area. It's been showing a pretty decent hail core that's been at least $half size, if not larger, up to golf ball at size at times. And really that is the main concern with most of the thunderstorms. We didn't expect a big tornado a day, and we don't expect this to be anything that's worse than what we're seeing right now. We are getting reports from so we're in the cutoff area here of National Weather Service offices. So the Fort Worth National Weather Service covers Lampasas, Coryell, and Bell County. Burnett County is under the Austin San Antonio office, and they are getting a report that a tornado was on the ground there. I do not have any confirmation on my end. Just a second, I'm getting a message. Sorry. Trying to communicate with chasers in the field. They're sending me a message right now. So again, where this would be occurring right now would be, again, just near and south of the county line right here. So again, here's Kempner. This is south of you. This storm is sitting nearly stationary and sliding down to the south. So what my chasers are saying out there is it looks like it's likely a multiple vortex that's getting just wrapped up and soaked with rain. So it's going to be hard to see, but they are seeing some rotation from their vantage point of a multiple vortex. Means there could actually be several small little rotations or potential vortexes kind of spinning around in this particular area here that we're watching with this storm. Guys, if y'all could route I don't know what we've got going to the Weather Channel. I just want to make sure we got something up there that's got the coverage, either me or CD. We've got covering multiple facets here that we're watching. So again, we're watching the strong rotation that's sitting right there on the county line. So what we're showing you right here is the velocity product with this output of the radar here. So these bright colors are showing very strong rotations that are going in opposite directions or winds that's causing that extreme rotation with this storm. I'm going to look at one product here and it's going to just throw a bunch of crazy colors on the screen, but it helps me see if we happen to have anything that's getting lofted up with this storm. So again, kind of zoom out a little bit with this storm. Again, it is a very slow moving storm that has been, I'm going backwards on it here, but this is kind of show you it's been slowly drifting south and is sitting nearly stationary right now. I've got a storm chaser on there that said if a tornado is on the ground from his vantage point, that it's rain wrap, and that's what our first alert chase team is saying. So we've got a couple different eyeballs on this storm, and where they're talking about it being wrapped in rain, this kind of shows a good. I'm going to take this back just a few minutes and show you, so you get this more well-defined hook there. This was when a few minutes ago I was showing you from our first alert chase team where you could see that lowering there. Well, since this storm is moving so slowly, the downdraft and the updraft just can't move away from each other very much, and where that rotation is going to start getting overtaken and wrapped up with that rain. So that may end up killing that rotation gradually, but again, that rotation sitting there right on the county line, just south. So this is not impacting the vast majority of central Texas. This is just south of Lampasas. This is in northern Burnett County. So really, if you put air quotes officially, just outside of the KWTX viewing area, but an area that's close enough where we could get some over-the-air broadcasting with all the folks that watch over digital broadcasts could be picking up our signal. So that one area we're watching there, just south of the Kempner area, and distance-wise, you go from Kempner to the center of that rotation, we're only talking 4 or 5 miles away. So it is close, but the good news is in Kempner, this storm is sliding south ever so slowly. I mean, this thing is moving at snail's pace. You can see, I mean, this goes back an hour, and you see that rotation developing pretty quickly. And then once it's crossed the county line there, it continues to wrap up and continues to strengthen. So got word from the National Weather Service down in San Antonio, still their spotters that are checking with them, confirmed tornado becoming rain wrap. So I've got 3 sets of eyeballs that are kind of giving us that same view from what we're seeing on radar that really looks to be indicating. So again, the white color you see around the warning here, that shows the National Weather Service saying a confirmed tornado on the ground. Again, this is in the northernmost portions of Burnett County, just south of Lampasas County. Does not include the city of Lampasas. It's moving away from you. Kempner, it is just south of you, and as of now, continuing to drift down to the south. Coppers Cove still dealing with heavy rain, likely some hail. The worst of it is all east or west of the Killeen metro area. And again, this is just slowly drifting down south into parts of Burnett County and working out of central Texas. Now elsewhere, we've got a couple severe thunderstorm warnings we're watching. We've got one that's in the Franklin area, Hearn area, or just outside of Franklin. So Robertson County mainly with this. It does cover a very small part of Milam County, but with these storms kind of drifting erratically, they are putting a large area under these severe thunderstorm watches. This runs until 5:15. An inch and a quarter hail possible with this storm. Worst of the hail is just to the west of the kind of Calvert area between there and Hearn along Highway 6. Here's Highway 79 here. I would say the worst of it's kind of from Highway 79 northward and west of Highway 6 is what we're watching with this storm right now. So that one, again, has an inch and a quarter size hail. Storm that really hadn't strengthened much there in Falls County. We'll continue to keep an eye on. And again, a severe thunderstorm warning. It really covers from kind of about Turnersville to Jonesboro there in northern Coryell County, parts of Hamilton County as well. Inch and a quarter hail possible with that. The biggest storm we've been watching had prompted a tornado warning for Burnett County. That storm is still kind of slowly moving down to the south, and we're continuing to watch that rotation that still looks very strong with that storm. Again, it is working slowly away from central Texas. This thing may be moving 3 or 4 miles an hour. That's how slow this storm is drifting down to the south as it continues to push down. I'm going to put it on about a last 30 minutes. You can kind of see that rotation, see how little it's moved in 30 minutes. And really, it moved down. And now the last frame or two here, the rotation doesn't look quite as intense. I'll take you back one frame. These are usually about 3 to 5 minutes between updates that are coming in here. So the rotation doesn't look as intense. So that's good news. But again, this is sitting just south of the county line there in northern parts of Burnett County. Right now, this is the only storm that we have rotation concerns with it. Hail is really the big story that we're watching elsewhere. We'll watch this storm out here. There's a little bit of an appendage maybe starting to show up, but again, right now, nothing more than hail concern that we're watching with that storm right now. And let's talk about the hail core real quick with this storm. Again, it's jumping up. We'd say about $50 to maybe near golf ball size hail with that storm there just to the west of Highway 6 there in the Hearn area that we're watching right now. Again, the hail core is sitting just south of Highway 190 between Coppers Cove and Killeen with that big storm that's sitting there in Coryell County or Lampasas County right now. Not as bad as the hail core was earlier, I'll show you over the last hour. It has not moved a lot, but it has moved gradually down to the south and southwest. And you can see as we start getting these greens and yellows, that's that big core. But you can just see it's just been slowly drifting down to the south, an extremely slow moving thunderstorm that we've been watching there in parts of Bell, Coryell, and now Lampasas, and now particularly down into the Burnett County area as well. Quick update from the National Weather Service this morning in Coryell County and Hamilton County. They're going to allow that to expire. The storm has been weakening. Another update, we do have a flash flood warning that is in effect for this very slow moving storm. You know, hail has been something that we've been talking a lot about, but the rainfall rates are pretty excessive. Here's a look at, this is a 3-hour rainfall, but it hasn't been raining for 3 hours. I mean, we've been raining probably a little over an hour in some area. We're already talking at least 2 inches of rain that's fallen in a short amount of time. So a lot of flooding concerns definitely could be ongoing with this storm here. We're still watching the rotation concern, and I do want to point out again, this is a rotation that is not impacting the vast or really any of Central Texas. We're watching it just due to the erratic motion and kind of the way this storm's been moving. Don't want to jump off of this storm because if it at one point was moving east, now it's been moving more south, and it is slowly pushing its way out of Central Texas. All right, so we still got just got an update from our First Alert Chase team. We can't get their video up, but they did send me a picture that we'll try to get passed along. They definitely can see a tornado with this storm. Still, again, just in there in the northern parts of the Burnett County area, south of Kempner, southwest of Killeen, and areas like that we're watching with this storm right now. So again, that area of rotation there has been just drifting ever so slowly down to the south. I'm going to show you kind of the last hour of how this storm has been performing, and it's just slowly drifting, if barely moving at all. So again, it's in this area here around Ocala, north of Briggs. So here's Highway 183 right here, north of there, south of Highway 190, hugging right near and just south of the county line is where this rotation is with this storm, and again, slowly inching its way down to the south. And again, should continue to work its way out of Central Texas. Now, one good thing is as this rain continues to wrap it up, hopefully this will continue to kind of cause this rotation to dissipate, but still showing healthy signs of rotation there in the northern portions of Burnett County with this storm. Again, that is slowly drifting down to the south right now. Again, wide view of kind of what's going on across Central Texas. We've got 3 thunderstorms we're watching, 2 that are still pretty healthy, 1 that is not holding together as well. We've got that severe thunderstorm warning there for northern portions of Coryell, parts of Hamilton County. Again, that storm is set to have the warning expire at 4:45, and the National Weather Service said they won't extend the warning on that one. All right, so they're going to add probably a new warning because I've got so many warnings on here. The severe threat of hail continues down. They're going to redraw the polygon for that. Again, we've got kind of 2 separate offices that are handling the 2 different aspects of this storm. So the Coryell, Bell County part of this storm, and much of Lampasas, it's the hail concern that we have. It's this little appendage here that's sitting in northern Burnett County and slowly drifting. And drifting is maybe an exaggeration on how fast this thing is moving. A near stationary rotation inside of this storm that is sitting there in northern Burnett County and continuing to show very tight signs of rotation likely, and we've had I've had several reports confirming at least a tornado on the ground, slow moving tornado. We're trying to get our First Alert Chase team where we can get that video to you. Let me see if I can. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna try to get this. I'll get this video up here. So, all right. So again, we've got this. So they got that just sitting. Just got another report from Adam Suker there again, just west of the Ocala area, there in the northern parts of Burnett County. That's where that tornado is ongoing. Again, this is in Burnett County. This is not in Copperas Cove. This is not in Kempner. This is not Killeen. This is in northern Burnett County. And again, this rotation is slowly just about stationary. I mean, we have not seen this thing move at all, but it is slowly drifting down to the south. So if you know anybody that lives in northern Burnett County, that's the area that we're concerned with this. Again, the warning does officially covered southern areas of Lampasas County. They're just south of Kempner. No tornado warning for Kempner, for Copperas Cove if you're watching and we're worried because there's that near tornado. It's not moving in your direction. The storm is moving down to the south, slowly drifting down to the south. And that's where we're watching with this storm as it continues to, again, have that tornadic potential there with the storm as it continues to drift down south away from central Texas is the area that we're watching. And again, this is a look at the velocity. When you get these reds and the greens next to each other, that's where that velocity is continuing to be very strong with that storm. All right, so let's go back to the hail concern with this storm because that's impacting more of central Texas than this tornado there in the Burnett County area. Still looking at around $half size hail on the kind of the north of where that rotation is there near Highway 190 and south. So this is the southeastern corner of Lampasas County near and south of the Copperas Cove area, which already earlier got bombarded with that large hail that occurred earlier there. Again, the storm there in northern Coryell County and Hamilton County still showing some small hail considerations, but overall the threats come down. You can see the hail estimate there, not as bad. And then that storm there in around the Hearn area in Calvert, that storm's probably the next one that we're going to have to start paying the most attention to. It still has the hail concerns, $half, maybe up to near golf ball size at times. And again, this is another very slow moving storm as well with it as the storm is continuing to just nearly drift, and that's the way this one was. You can see the storms were moving until they really get built in, and then they have they're just sit nearly stationary. So we've got a hail core there just on the northeastern side of Highway 6. So again, this is Hearn up to around the Calvert area. This may drift over to parts of Franklin, but again, these storms are sitting nearly stationary and just not moving much as these storms develop and continue to have impacts. Waco Temple, we're completely quiet, no issues there. Again, we have the extended coverage because we have that tornado warning that still officially covers southern Lampasas County. The storm finally starting to show a little more signs that it's drifting down to the south, so that's good news. We'll continue to push that rotation slowly away from our area. And it's not quite as crazy as the rotation looked just a little bit ago. When we get these where these colors are bleeding over like this, that's showing signs that that rotation is very, very strong. And that shows us that we get those at times 100 plus, 150 mile per hour winds that are going on inside the storm. But the rotation has come down some, but rarely ever you're going to see something tornadic sit still nearly like that for as long as it has. So that's pretty crazy of how this storm is going. So give me 2 seconds here. So again, let's start out back wide and we'll kind of go back in on what we're watching and what's going on. So started out today with the chance for strong hail producing storms, and that has materialized this afternoon. A severe thunderstorm watch covers much of the central and southern parts of central Texas, runs until 9 o'clock. And we've really seen, the worst of it being our southern counties. And that's kind of the area that we anticipated that biggest threat to be across that area. All right, so we're watching two stronger storms right now. We've got one that's mainly in Robertson County, and then we've got this near stagnant storm that's got multiple facets to it. We've got the severe thunderstorm, the hail potential with this storm. We've got the flash flood warning with this storm as well, where we're looking at 2 to 3 inches of rain that's fallen with this storm. And then we've got that area of tornadic activity that's sitting there in the Burnett County area. Now, the good news is it continues to show signs that it's pushing down to the south. Now, the National Weather Service has kept this tornado warning in the kind of southernmost portions of Lampasas County just due to the kind of odd deviations that this storm has done. It was moving east earlier, then it started this southward movement. There's just not jet stream wise a lot to really steer these storms. We don't have a cold front moving through, anything like that. So that's why we're kind of casting a big net on these storms to make sure people are paying attention to these, because with these storms erratically moving, we don't want to catch anybody off guard on what's going on with these storms. So again, we're not far from Killeen, we're not far from Copperas Cove, but again, the storm right now has no impact when we start talking the tornadic activity. Heavy rain, hail is still a possibility with this storm. That hail core shifting more into the southeastern portions of Lampasas County as we speak right now. And then again, okay, Hey, so I've got Adam Suker, our First Alert Chase team. Adam, I know we lost your video. You're kind of in a rural area there. What have you seen, and is that tornado still ongoing down there?
Yes, Freddie. We're actually off of 2657 near Coquilla, and we're looking west, and there's actually still a tornado on the ground. It gets wrapped in rain, and then it'll come visible again. It's almost stationary. The tornado's really just sitting there. It's not moving very fast, and it's been on the ground now over 10 minutes plus. And it's still currently going as we're watching it here. I think I'm going to get you on a video feed. It's a rural area. Cell coverage is really poor where we're at. It's starting to pull up a little bit. There's a funnel cloud right now. Sending some pictures. It keeps coming down and pulling up. So don't use the bars away just yet. And it's hard to see this. Every now and then the rain will quit wrapping around it, and we can actually see it. And I'm getting visual again. It is beautiful on the ground already.
All right. Well, thank you, Adam. I appreciate you letting me know. And yeah, it kind of fits what we're seeing there. You can tell even with the cell phone service, a little spotty again. You get out around Ocala and areas like that in northern Burnett County. You're getting out in some beautiful, starting to enter the hill country and beautiful country area out there. But to get video signal and cell signal, not real great in that area. And he's fitting into what we're seeing, where it's the tornado that's been ongoing, but nearly sitting stationary right there. Just to the west of the Ocala area, out in just rural country land out there. But again, the rotation has dissipated a little bit. It's not as intense as it was. And you could kind of, I know his audio was cutting out some there, but where he was talking about a funnel cloud, and then so they're battling the rain wrapping around some, opening up where they're getting glimpses of it, but the tornado is coming up and down a little bit. And, it's a rare occurrence to see this kind of storm sitting just stationary like this with this storm and not moving all that much. But again, we're still watching that rotation there. Again, it is sitting in the northern parts of Burnett County, so just on the edge, just kind of on the outside of the KWTX area. We still have the tornado warning for northern Lampasas County. We're watching the storm just to make sure it doesn't make any deviant movements, because we're only talking, 10 miles from Kempner right now, and maybe less than 10 or 15 from the Coppers Cove area. But right now, we do not anticipate this storm really in these areas where all this heavy rain has fallen. A tornado would not survive moving up into that cooler air where that rain and hail has fallen. So we anticipate this storm to continue to slowly drift down to the south and continue to work slowly down into Burnett County. There's another storm there down on Lake Buchanan, down towards Burnett, farther down into the Austin area. And we're still watching this stronger storm that's down near Hearn and up towards near Calvert. The hail core definitely coming up in that storm as well. Not our hail estimate. Sometimes this one can be a little delayed on what it's seeing compared to, and I just want to make one quick check. I don't expect any rotation with this, but yeah, so again, hail is definitely the big story we're watching. You got to peek your eyes a little bit at when you just start getting one storm rotates, make sure that we don't get others that do. We've got a few other scattered storms that are up north, but nothing in the way of anything severe. This sail and this sail started right next to each other and then split and went opposite directions, and this one went north. It moved into less favorable environment. Just looking at temperature-wise to kind of show you how the environment changes across central Texas. Look at the current temperatures right now, and it's going to be, that storm is going to make a big difference there in the clean area. But I mean, it's in the 70s and 80s to the north. I mean, look at Llano, it's 95 degrees. Burnett's cooled down some of that rain nearby, but I mean, it's 86 in Georgetown. So these warmer temperatures to the south are going to lead more fuel. Now, Gatesville's cooled down due to the nearby rain. Same story with Hamilton, but it's not as warm and unstable across our northern counties as it is across our southern counties. And that warmth, that fuel, that humidity combination is what's going to allow for these stronger storms to be across our southern counties. Now, again, the major story with these isolated storms is going to be the hail potential. Golf ball size or larger can't be ruled out with some of these storms. Again, we still have the tornado concern, a confirmed tornado on the ground as of last report. We just talked to Adam Suker there, our First Alert Chase team, still watching a nearly stationary tornadic storm. And again, it's this area right in here where you get these, what we call a couplet, where we get the reds and the greens right next to each other. So reds winds working away from the radar, greens winds coming towards the radar, and that's where you get this strong counterclockwise rotation that's ongoing with that storm. And again, that's that area that we're watching right there. Let me see, I think All right. Yeah, we got. So here's the picture of the tornado that we got earlier from Adam Suker. So this was looking from Ocala off to the west there. Again, you can see that dropping down there. Again, it gets hard to see just because the rain wrapping in. But again, this is sitting out in the middle of nowhere, nearly out in very rural areas there in Burnett County. But again, that's the view that they've had down there from our First Alert Chase team, in an area where cell phone signal and video capabilities are pretty limited there. Storm continuing, it may have jogged even a little more south. So we may be getting where the one rotation starting to drop off a little bit and a new one is trying to take over here. Let me see what their velocity is showing on it. So yeah, that weakening a little bit here. So it'll be interesting to see if we may be starting to weaken this one and possibly start a new rotation that's going down to the south. Again, this is in Burnett County. So we're going to stay on this for a little bit longer just because of the proximity to the central Texas counties. And again, as of last check, the National Weather Service still had the area in Lampasas County under that warning. But again, that warning is just for precautionary purposes in case this storm again happened to deviate, but everything is pointing now that it's starting to shift a little more down to the south, which for us in Central Texas is good news. You got any family and friends that live there, anywhere from Briggs northward in Lampasas or in Burnett County, definitely need to be watching the storm. As you can kind of see that hook, it disappeared there for a little bit, got rain wrapped, but we may have another area of circulation that's starting to take over and starting to shift slowly down to the south. Now, this is a 30-minute loop, so you can see how slow this storm is moving. So the rotation concern is something we're watching. The hail concern is something we're watching. But I don't want to give up on not talk about the rain. Check this out. In Coppers Cove, we are getting radar estimated rain totals of upwards of 4.5 inches, and this is in less than 2 hours. So flooding concerns definitely going to be there. And you get in some of these neighborhoods where you got a lot of houses. It's hard for the water to run off. We've had some heavy rain recently, so the grounds have become saturated. Runoff could lead to some flooding concerns in and around the Coppers Cove area as well. Again, the other storm that's dumping heavy rain and slow moving is that one out in the Robertson County area, right near Hearn and off to the north and northwest kind of there. And again, this storm, I'll take you over the last hour and show you how little this one's moving. Again, staying nearly stationary. So let's go back to this storm that's down in Burnett County. We've got Adam Suker back on the phone. What are you seeing now, Adam? Oh, may have lost Adam there. All right, we'll check back in with him. Again, Adam's out. He's trying his best to communicate with us, but he is in a very rural area there in the Burnett County area. So again, that rotation continuing to shift down to the south, continuing to work away from central Texas, and we'll continue to stay with it. As right now, the tornado warning in is a, let me see, the Lampasas part of it's till 5 o'clock. As you get down into Burnett County, they haven't extended the warning. I would assume that they will down in that area as well. So they're going to allow the warning to expire in 5 minutes. We're going to continue to monitor. So we'll take this to 5 o'clock, and then we'll start our 5 o'clock newscast as normal, because we're getting more and more confident that this storm will not have any impacts on central Texas. Now, if we have any areas that we would need to start watching, would be in these far western portions of Bell County. But again, it's really the severe threat, because really once this rain starts moving in, it's going to eliminate some of that concern. But what we're going to do is, again, we'll stay here till the 5 o'clock starts, and we'll toss it over to Gordon and get their newscast started. But we're going to have periodic checking in throughout the newscast as well. But again, we've got a pair of storms we're watching right now. We've got the one that's there in the Bell County area, easternmost Lampasas County, southernmost Coryell County, and then the tornadic area that's there in Burnett County that's sliding down to the south. Good news is for central Texas, again, the supercell storm is diving south slowly, moving down to the Briggs area. And it's picked up a little bit of its motion southward here just in the last few minutes. Let's take a look at the rotation with it. And again, that rotation still sitting there, has decreased in intensity, but still some noticeable rotation that's in there with that storm. So again, that continues to move down to the south and continue to watch with that. The other area that we're watching with this storm right now, or other storm that we're watching, is the one that's out in the Robertson County area as well. That storm showing signs of still some healthy hail that, again, could be upwards of $50 to maybe golf ball size. This storm may be trying to split a little bit as well. That's what we saw with the Coryell County storm earlier is it split, and then what happened is the southern cell ended up strengthening more. We'll have to watch and see what happens with this one here. But yeah, we're trying to kind of see this in the last little frames here where these cells, when we don't have real strong winds pushing these storms, they kind of migrate on their own and they can kind of merge together, and then the winds inside the storms can kind of push two parts away from each other. You also get where, I mean, these storms are feeding on the good warmth and humidity, and if you got multiple ones near each other, they're going to try to work away from each other where the environment's better for it. So we'll watch that because that could increase the hail to the north, but we'll have to watch what happened with the Coryell County one is when it split. That southern one was the one that had started to spin up a little bit of rotation. Not a guarantee that's what happens with this, but we'll definitely keep a close eye on that storm as we continue to go through. So let's give you a wide recap here. So the tornado warning is going to expire for Lampasas County. That was put out of just abundance of caution from the National Weather Service. There's a tornado warning in effect for Burnett County that runs until 5 o'clock, and I have not had word of anything from them. Again, that's the San Antonio National Weather Service office, still showing signs of rotation. It has gone down significantly. All right, Adam, I'm seeing it dropping off significantly on rotation. What are you seeing on your end?
Exactly the same thing, Brady. We just watched the tornado actually explode just about 2 minutes ago, but we're watching a new updraft area just a little bit to the southeast of that last updraft, and so we're watching that new area. It doesn't have a lot of strong rotations yet, but the good news is the tornado has lifted. It is fluted. It is no longer in progress, but we are watching a new updraft freezing up the storm, so we'll continue to see if we get.
Okay, so yeah, so Adam's really giving us the ground truth to what I was seeing earlier. So what happened was this other one included got kind of wrapped up into the moisture and everything with this. So that one rotation went away. Now we've got this area that, again, down to the southeast. This may retake and start to form, but again, it isn't as strong as what the rotation was. So as of right now, the warning is set to expire in just 3 minutes. So the National Weather Service down in San Antonio has put out just a severe thunderstorm warning. So they're seeing that the rotation has diminished significantly. So right now, no tornadic worries with any of this activity as it continues as of now. But again, this is, again, Burnett County that we're talking about. Now, Coppers Cove, we have got significant rain. We could be talking anywhere from 3 to 5 inches of rain that has fallen in and around the Coppers Cove area. Heavy rain up and down the I-14 corridor there from Killeen westward. The hail threat is coming down in the Coppers Cove area, which is good news. Now that hail threat's starting to shift down into Burnett County. The other storm that we're watching starting to split, kind of like the Coryell County did, is the storm out in the Robertson County area there in and around Hearn. So we've got a hail core just west of Hearn and a hail core just off to the northwest of the Franklin area. That's $half size potential there with that storm. So a rainy mess from Calvert to Hearn on Highway 6. Same story on 79 there from Hearn up to Franklin. But again, some hail a possibility with this. We're going to stay with all these storms. We've got, again, a couple storms that we're watching. The tornadic threat was not a big story that we had coming into today. Mother Nature sometimes can spin up some surprises for all of us, and fortunately that was down to the Burnett area in a very rural area, but that threat is going down. That storm is sliding down to the south and south away from our area. But again, we've got the storms that we're watching for that hail threat, and we'll have more updates throughout our 5 o'clock newscast.